What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're reacting to the 6th episode of To Your Eternity. This one's titled Our Goals. What are our goals? That's a good question. So yeah, last time out, this show is evil, and whilst fleeing from what's her face? I always get them mixed up. Paranoia is the one we're with, and then it's Hayase, who was the enemy. Always get names mixed up. I'm terrible with names this season. I'm terrible with names with full stop. But still. So yeah, so I was trying to flee. We are attacked, obviously, as expected. I mean, they weren't just going to let us go, especially for Fushi, since he seems to be the main... He's the main focus right now, since they want to find out what the hell is up with him. Or it, I suppose. Yeah, it would be an it at this point, because it... Oh, that's a whole mess. But in that attack, Parana being exposed, March takes an arrow for Parana, and ultimately this ends up being a fatal hit, and we lose March, which, just being injured, Fushi went into a rampage as the bear to try and kill them all for doing that to her, but ultimately she does pass. And Parano thinks, what's the point in living anymore, and goes to commit suicide. But with March's thoughts, emotions, consciousness, whatever you want to interpret it as, connecting with Fushi as part of the orb's capabilities, essentially, prevents Parano from going through with it. And something that they've got to, that she's got to live with now and work through in her own way. But we're not going to be privy to that probably, because it looks like we're on our way off, because they're still chasing after him. So they say, you've got to run, you're not safe here, run and find somewhere. We actually see, whilst in the boy's form, still has the mannerisms of March, implying that learnt and through death has learned. And I worry that every bit of growth of Fushi is going to require the death of another. I'm worried that's the direction the show might end up going. Is through the deaths of people we know and interact with, we're going to evolve and improve ourselves. If we can make progress without being privy to death, that'll change things, but most of our major changes have come through death. Although saying the thank you didn't require death. So there is signs that it doesn't have to be like that, but the most apparent and obvious ones, especially when it comes to changing forms, require death. Yeah, Hayase looks demonic almost at this point, and I'm sure it's going to be a recurring villain through most of this, but I wonder who we're going to be meeting now, because there's a bunch of people in the OP that we could be meeting. I don't quite know where we're going just yet, but it's going to be interesting as we start our next part of the journey. Now, moving on from March, and maybe learning a little more, maybe getting a better grasp of language. That would be an important one. Like, getting a better grasp on language would be huge for this show, because it will allow Fushi to actually verbalize, because we don't really ever see Fushi's internal monologue. We don't really have access to that. We're seeing everyone else's view on Fushi, we're not seeing Fushi's view on everyone else, per se. So if we can shift that, I think the show will take on a whole different feel. And I think it'll be an interesting change, is all I'm saying. So hopefully we get to that point. I'm sure we will get to that point somewhen, because he's got to evolve to that point anyway. But beyond that, who knows? And why he's been sent here to learn like this? Again, we don't know, but that's like episode 16 plotline, so I guess we'll get to that at some point. Anyway, gonna load the episode up here, because I'm excited for this episode. As per usual, these are time-based format reactions here on YouTube. If you want to see the full picture-in-picture, go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 a month gets you access to all picture-in-picture reactions I do on the channel, which is everything from the current seasonal lineup, as well as Patreon request shows such as Symphogeji, Lock Horizon Season 2, and World Trigger. We also have movie reactions, with this Saturday being Kiki's Delivery Service. We'll be watching that straight after So Must Buy So What, so look forward to that one, as voted on by my patrons. But here on YouTube, we use timer-based formats. So bottom left of the screen, you'll see a timer for the episode. I'll count down 3, 2, 1, play. Play start episode, I start episode, and we should be in sync. We'll watch this one on Crunchyroll as per usual, since they're the ones who licensed it. No logos or anything. We're just going to fade into the episode from black by looks of things. But you can use screen flash on my face, the mic, or this part of my headset to tell when the scenes are transitioning. That should help you sync it up as well. So, with all that said, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. That's our break. Volume right? It is. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, there's the show of March's visual motion. OP time. Okay, so the next one in the OP seemed to be the mask. This one. That seemed to be the next one, but... This seems just so cruel now when you think about it. Alright, here we go. Off into the woods. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Seeing her climb. Always reproduces the wound of the dying form, though. This is so weird to see, isn't it? Familiar scent? Oh, it's the old woman! Wonder what happened to her. We reunited, I guess? March's form. Oh, this is the monster. Hmm. Yep. I like her. Which means she'll die at some point, but still. Goes on the head regardless of form. Hmm. Hmm. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh boy. I mean, uh, now that positions are reversed. Look at that. uh, interesting. Really? Is that our unit measurement here? Making a copy of the map. Learning about. Yeah. Hmm. Teaching it some language. We need a mentor character. As a first for knowledge. Machi again. Hmm. PRN, okay. We're learning so much. Oh, I love this. Just walking and learning. Long ass journey. Hey, civilization. Mm-hmm. To grow, just learn. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Your lover. Hello. Granny got game. Hmm. What on earth? Oh. Oh. That was Kendra's voice actor attacking his own orb? Oh god. That's where this starts, huh? Huh? What? Oh. Hello? Oh. Okay. What is going on? Here he is. Huh. This took a turn. I love it. Oh. Oh. Of course, that's not enough to kill it because it's struggling to reform, though. Bear form it is. Interesting. So it's taking his form. So he's lost boy, he's lost wolf. After this, we're only left with March after this. We kind of need to win with the bear form. Oh boy. Oh boy. There it is. But not enough. But now we've only got March's form left, right? Yeah. And we were going up against the bear form. Sure. I mean, we've got an arrow, but this is probably our worst final form. I mean, small and agile, I suppose, but still a gap. Nice. Forcibly pulling out its own core. We did it. Whatever we're meant to do. That's crazy. Here come the forms back. Whoa. Getting a better understanding of those forms, maybe? Or just re-remembering again? Okay, we got our forms back. God, you're creepy and I love you, but still. Mm-hmm. Do we now? To preserve it, okay. So that genuinely was an enemy. Okay. I thought it was just a test you planted. Yeah, we don't, yeah. Okay. Goodbye, Kenjiro. Okay. Until the coming end, oh boy. So there is a grander plot narrative at play right now. I don't know, that was weird. I mean, that's exactly the type of reaction I'd expect. Hey, we made it. So who's this lover? Hey, it is Mask. Okay, I was right. That's it. God damn it. That was a good episode. It's a very good episode. I'm glad to see where the tree branching effect has now come into play. We have a grander narrative and a reason why we've been put on this earth. To preserve it. From whatever these things are. This is our next person to meet, so I'm interested to see what they're going to be like. Alright. Okay, so we're not going to look at the previews because I don't want to have any information going into next time. Well then. Okay, we have our overall plot starting to surface then. We now have reasoning behind why we're here. You can't recall what it took from you, but you must have noticed the emptiness, the discomfort. Yep. Yep. Learning to speak is good. We can start putting some more... Like I said, we can start looking at it from Fushi's perspective more than everyone looking at Fushi. The branch-like imagery is very creepy and I love it. Can't wait to learn a bit more about that as well from Kenjiro's character as well. We've still got a way to go though. We've got to learn some more before we are in any position to really take them on, but something that can take our forms... I mean, I see how that is of course danger to us. How is this of danger to the preservation of the world though? That's a question that we need to answer. Like, what is it doing here? Yes, it's going to stop us from doing what we want, but what is it trying to do in of itself? Kind of interesting to think about. But we're going to need more forms by the sounds of things. Like, at the end of the day, we're going to be acquiring more forms, and honestly, looking at the cover art of this show, just the way it's assembled makes me think that all 5 of them might eventually become our forms in a way, just because of the way it's doing a similar thing to the way when we got them back and when it was stealing them from us, that like digital effect essentially. Got a feeling that maybe all these will become some of our forms, but I guess we'll see further on. Yeah, that one was way too close, that fight, so we're gonna need to improve ourselves. We're gonna need to probably get more forms, whatever that will end up being. Find out who the hell this mask wearing, or I'm not even sure if it's a mask, whoever this individual is that we've just met, and then take it from there. But very good episode. Very good. We now have some grander stakes, which is nice. So anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one as per usual. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments what you thought of the episode. Don't forget to subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Spring 2021 live invite here on the channel. Thank you for watching. Till next time. See you guys later.